Kahalayim, Layahal Bashim Yahushai, Bahava Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles for teaching us his truth. So, this is Ecclesiasticus 39 and 28. There will be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Yeah, that's dope. You see how my rooster chimed in on that? Well, I saw something. It's not a vision. I actually seen it physically happen. It was an altercation at Target, the local Target around my area. There was, I'm going to try to explain it the best I can, which in a non-biased way. And then you tell me what you think. So there was, this man, this, Issacharite man and his daughter. And they were in the store and they bought whatever they had to get. Or whatever went down, however it went down. The man looked like a regular man, skinny, no fat on him. But he looked like he was just kind of in shape. Like maybe he didn't even have cardio, but he looked like he carried a knife or whatever. And then his daughter, I didn't see her face because she was wrapped up in a blanket and she was covering up her face. So I don't know what was going on with that. And they were walking through the cars, in the aisles of the car. And next to my car, I know you guys see it all the time on my camp videos. It's that white Hyundai. It gets me where I gotta go. And next to it, parked in the reverse, was a F-150 with Oregon license plates, kind of charcoal black. Yeah, and it looked like it was, some, rebel type shit. And then there was an Edomite woman in there, a white lady, and an Edomite man, a white man. They were wearing leather jackets. And the woman opened the door. I don't know if she's seen the little girl, but she crushed that little girl in between my car and the door. And I looked, and the Edomite woman looked at me and said, "It's not my fault." Her attention should have been on the child, right? And she should have been apologizing to that man. That man was like, you, the Mexican man was like, "You fucking bitch, you hit my daughter." And my wife was right there witnessing it. And, I told her, put that shit in the car and get out of the way. And then my main concern was her safety, protecting my wife. And then the Edomite man came out. And the reason why I say leather jackets is because, snakes have a leathery skin. So they were wearing those leather jackets, and that's why I say they were Edomites. And then he was like, they were fighting, right? The reason why I say they're Edomites is because the lady didn't apologize. She didn't even say sorry. That could have ended everything right there. oh, okay, next time be more careful. And then that would have been it. But she said, it's not my fault. She should have been looking where she was going, which is also true. But, I'm not a judge. I am a judge, actually. But I'm not a judge in this Babylonian society. I can't judge based on that. But based on the spirit, I am a judge. I am a judge all over, over judges, over generals, senators, presidents. And I'm not trying to say, give me some humble pie based on the evidence of what happens in ministry. I have to say that is the case. So, they were fighting, and then the Ishmaelite guy took a step back, like he was ready to start swinging or pull a knife out or pull a gun out. And I didn't know if the Edomite man had a knife or a gun. So like I said, my main concern was my wife. And it's been almost a year since I got an eerie feeling, like kind of a scared feeling, which prompted me to start working out. And now the results are visible. My chest is bigger, my arms are bigger, my confidence is up. I still got my sciatica problems and my shoulder problems, but I can still defend my family. So this clash of Jake versus Esau, this Jacob's trouble, it's getting to the part where it's gonna overboil, and since you're not cooking with water, you're cooking with oil, you're gonna start a kitchen fire. And what made it so spiritual was I was thinking like this before anything happened. After that girl got hit, I was thinking, okay, this man should be upset. And then he got upset. And then I said, okay, this other man's gonna defend his position and his snake woman, and he did. So it was at that moment that my premonitions told me to protect my chicken, and that's when King Kong puffed up his chest. I puffed up my chest, and the angels were around me, and there was nobody watching that except these two women in a car, and they seen it all. And while they were altercating and fighting and everything, my spirit didn't change a bit. When there's fight time, you get that feeling. That's why I'm saying you should work out. You have to have that feeling of not super confidence, but it was like not even concern. Like in my spirit of spirits, I would have been able to take care of both of those guys and prevent that little girl from getting hurt. I might even have to smack up that other woman. But that would have been the case had that Edomite man overpowered that Issacharite man and turned his attention on the child. That would have been it. I would have got involved. So you have to make those decisions on your own. Are you strong enough to uphold yourself and protect what's yours? Because, man, I feel like there's a bunch of Christians out there that don't even do push-ups. That would be remiss or awe-stricken if a situation were to happen like that. Like, I didn't feel no I did feel threatened, but I didn't. My energies didn't change. It was a control level. And because before, when there's a situation like that, you feel it drop, and then you get it in the stomach. But the spirit was like easy peasy. Your priority was right. Protecting your wife is your main priority. Her safety was my concern. I'm a man. Nobody else is going to tell me that. So, not only that, there were the angels, like the spirits, they were hopping on those people. How do I know they were hopping on those people? It's because I seen their countenance change. I seen that when I said those things. When I said those things in my head, I said this man should be upset, furious that woman hit his child, and he did. So that spirit hopped on him. And then when it was like, for me, it was like a video game, right? Like I was controlling the field. Like I had something to do with it, but I had nothing to do with it. But my thoughts didn't control what was happening, but it was a premonition, and that's how you stay safe. So it was like what I anticipated happened. I took precautions, and I don't carry a knife or a gun, but I think it might be time for all of us to consider a weapon on off times, because shoot, man, had they pulled out a gun and started blasting, and they would have killed that child, and that guy would have had the gun, or however it would have happened, because I know they didn't have guns. Well, I know that the man from Oregon had a gun, but I know that the Ishikrai didn't. And I thought to myself, oh, these are spirits. So, and then we're gonna get furious. But at the same time, if they were gonna get furious, the fury wasn't gonna be turned on me, and not because I have a fury to match, but because I fear the Lord, and I knew that was the Lord. So I didn't. That's why I was so cool and calm. It wasn't me being involved in the altercation, but if I had been, it would have only been because of the safety of the child. Other than that, my main priority would have been my wife's. It was, I told her to put everything in the trunk and get away. And then as soon as everybody was gone, she went to go put the cart away, and they were still screaming. But other than that, it's gonna happen more often, and it's probably happening all the time. But it's gonna get to the point where they're gonna get violent with each other. That woman actually hit that kid. She was waiting for that kid to get in the right position, and then boom, she opened the door, hit that kid. And her excuse was she should have been looking where she was going. So that's your attitude, you Edomites. So with that, I'm gonna say shalom.